While we continue to focus on the 1 year since the start of the war in Ukraine, a lot of talk these days about China's involvement in all of this. The Chinese government now calling for a ceasefire and an end to the conflict. The news prompting Ukrainian President Zelensky to say that he'd welcome a meeting with Beijing, but can we really trust China, especially after we saw the spy balloon controversy, among other things, of course, a controversy which some say shows just how vulnerable our power grid could be to potential electromagnetic pulse attacks. Joining us right now to discuss is EMP attack expert and author of 1 Second After, Dr. William Forstchen. Doctor, give me your assessment. I've asked a lot of people this, but what was that spy balloon thing about?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know anything more than you do.
Okay. Okay.
So why didn't we drop it in Montana?
Okay. Yeah, why wasn't it shot down there? I've been to Montana. I don't think it would have hit anybody.
A cow.
Yeah, exactly. Or a bear, a black bear somewhere. But tell me what the danger is with something like this for an EMP attack, for instance.
Okay, EMP, shorthand for electromagnetic pulse weapon. It is detonating a nuclear weapon out in space, sets up an electrostatic discharge that wipes out our power grid. It is a very real threat. I think the main point I'm shouting out today is the Trump administration took it seriously. They were working towards finding solutions. The day Biden became president, one of his executive orders killed any funding. We're spending $1 trillion on infrastructure, not one dime to protect us against an EMP strike. It is a real threat.
Okay, let's talk about what kind of threat. EMP, you come in, I remember back, I think it was 2003, when the whole East Coast, the grid kind of went under for a short period of time, which stopped the train I was on. I tried to walk to an ATM so I could get money to get on a bus. ATMs don't work. They need electricity. The whole world stopped for a while, east of Chicago, I think. And so the impact on your life would be immediate. So how would they pull this off and why? What would they try to accomplish in doing so?
My fear is a third world handoff. China hands off a couple weapons to the usual suspects, North Korea, the Taliban, Iran. They take the weapon, they launch it. They can launch it off the east or west coast from a container ship. When it detonates, it sets up a massive electrostatic discharge. What happens to us? We immediately lose all electricity. What do we lose then? No more water. Your water isn't being pumped. No more medication, no more gasoline, no more food. 2 congressional studies indicated we would lose up to, get this, 90% of Americans would be dead within a year. That's a real figure. That's not tinfoil hat.
Okay. Now, I'm guessing, Doctor, that we're not idiots about this, that despite what politicians may make us think about the government, there's some sharp people in the military, there's some sharp people. I'm guessing 2 things. One is we're aware these attacks could come, and 2, we have our own abilities as well.
Yeah, but so what if we counterstrike? You know, when it's over with, 90% of Americans will die. And I have to emphasize, the Trump administration was working on this issue. The Biden administration is doing nothing.
And do you think that's because, Doctor, do you think that's because this administration, almost from A to Z, does not take China seriously as a threat?
Well, how much are they being paid off through somebody's son? An administration that has some of the people working for it now, we have some very, very smart people in there, but they're not being heard.
Okay. Fair enough. So you, on a scale of 1 to 10, how likely do you think an attack like this will happen over the next, say, 10 years?
You know, weapon systems throughout history, they're finally used. World War I, chemical weapons, World War II, nuclear weapons. Sooner or later, somebody is going to use an EMP strike.
Okay.
I pray to God it's not against us.
Dr. William Forstchen, thank you, sir.